Check it out. I just found this video. 3 scary true 4th of July horror stories animated. Man, you already know I'm a big baby when it comes to this stuff. It's 4th of July. We might as well turn up. Oh, God. Let's go. All right. Horrifying 4th of July case. Oh, God. Already not looking forward to this, man.
I had been living with my husband and daughter in a little apartment downtown for many years when it happened. It all happened one year during the 4th of July. My husband and I had been married for many years at that point, and our daughter was in middle school. My husband was a good bit older than I was, and he had begun to need a cane to walk.
Are you kidding me? You're like 30 and your husband's like 70. Holy, no judgment, bro. He's getting to it. He knows what it's all about.
Around most of the time. We didn't let the age gap bother us, though. My husband and I loved cooking out, and we especially enjoyed the fireworks. Our neighborhood always put on a big show, and we had always had a great view from our balcony.
Okay.
We had decorated the apartment with flags and other patriotic stuff, and we were all having a great time.
Of course.
Just before evening, I was in the kitchen cooking dinner so that we could all eat on the balcony while we watched the fireworks. My husband and daughter headed out to the balcony early while I got everything prepared.
That's
I
tough.
had the food ready a little before the show was supposed to start, so we all sat outside and ate while we awaited the fireworks. Just as they started, my husband said that he had to go to the bathroom. He headed inside while my daughter and I watched the show begin.
Hurry up, dear! You're going to miss it!
Don't worry, the real fireworks will happen in the bed later tonight.
He then laughed and said he would be
Bro, you need a cane. What do you mean? Oh my. Okay, that's just not what I expected. Okay, all right.
back in a flash. A few minutes later, I heard loud noises coming from inside. I didn't know what it could be.
What was that? Okay. All right. I don't know. Hey, fireworks are happening in the bedroom, bro.
Got up to check. I didn't know what it could be, so I got up to check. I opened the sliding door and went inside.
What is it?
And that's when I saw the most horrifying thing ever.
What?
There was a masked man wearing dark clothing standing in my living room.
Who the? Oh my God!
God! Who
Oh my
the hell
God!
are you?
I was scared out of my mind. I had no idea who the man was or how he had gotten inside.
Who
That's
the-
when my husband suddenly came charging out of nowhere. He gestured me to stay back and then started yelling at the man.
What do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here before I call the cops!
Yeah.
You think I'm scared of you, old man? Shut your mouth before I shut it for you!
The masked man and my husband kept yelling back and forth at each other, but neither of them moved. Meanwhile, I continued to freak out.
What is happening?
I felt frozen in place. I knew that I should call the cops or grab my daughter,
What am
but
I
I couldn't
watching?
make a decision. All I could do was watch my husband and the man continue to argue.
Get out of here! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Yeah.
Shut your mouth, you piece of shit! Or I'll blast real fireworks at you!
That's when the masked man
Oh my
suddenly
God.
charged at my husband and
Dude,
grabbed
what?
him by the collar, slamming him to the ground.
Oh, God! Somebody help us! Help!
I watched in horror as the man
Yo, that's the worst voice acting I think I've ever heard. That's, I mean, it's still like pretty scary, but like Jesus, you could have like paid a little bit more on the budget or something. Like, all right, whatever, bro.
picked my husband up and threw him across the room like a rag doll. Then, he picked up my husband's metal cane and started to threaten me with it.
You wanna end up like him? Huh? I'll bash your skull in!
My daughter came running in at just that moment. I instinctively grabbed her hand and ran to the washroom as the man chased after us.
What's that?
I was able to pull my daughter in and slam the door and lock it behind us in the nick of time.
What am I
One
watching?
more second and the intruder would have gotten a hold of us. He started banging on the door and yelling at us as my daughter and I cowered inside.
Open this door, I'll kill you, you hear me?
He then started whacking at the
in
door
their
with a
house.
cane. He hit it over and over again like some kind of lunatic. With every swing, the door shook more and more, and it seemed like he was going to break it down. I wanted
Do
to call
something.
the police, but I didn't think that they would get there in time. I immediately called my husband's brother instead. He lived very close by, and I knew we needed help immediately. There was no way that my husband would last very long with the intruder since he was on the older side, and the crazed man.
This is the most hectic, the most hectic beginning of a video I've ever seen. I am in shock. I don't know what's happening. I'm tweaking. I think I peed a little. Oh God.
Had a cane. As I called his brother, I heard loud tussling coming from the other side of the door.
Get him.
I begged him to hurry up.
Please, you have to help us! He's going to kill him!
I thought I had made the right decision. But to our demise, my brother-in-law's car was being repaired. He had no way of getting to us in time.
Bro.
I knew then that it was too late.
Just stay in the washroom. I'm coming as fast as I can. I'll take an Uber.
He hung up the phone and I immediately started calling the cops. But just at that moment, I heard my husband screaming mixed with the sound of fireworks. Ah! It was absolute pandemonium. I wanted to try and help him, but I was too afraid to open the door and run the risk of my daughter getting hurt. I was completely helpless. I told the cops where we were, and they said they were on their way.
Sorry.
There was no way that they could get there fast enough. The tussling sounds continued, and I heard my husband scream a few more times. Then, after several intense minutes, the loud noises stopped. The cops and my brother-in-law eventually arrived, but when they got there, the suspect was already gone. My husband was found laying on the floor, still conscious, but barely responsive. His face was bloody and bruised. They took him to the hospital right away, but there wasn't much they could do by that point. He died later on from blunt force trauma. The masked man was never found. Ever since that day, my daughter and I have been traumatized by the 4th of July. We don't even celebrate it anymore.
I don't
It's
blame
just
you.
too painful.
Yeah.
All it does is remind us of that horrible night.
Yo, could you imagine, dude? 4th of July. Your husband's like, dude, I gotta piss bad. I gotta, like, I know it just started, but all right, I'll be right back. And then you hear something, you check the door, and there's a humongous dude with a mask standing at your door, and he walks in your house, and your husband shows up, and he starts beating the hell out of your husband. Like, what do you even do? Oh my God. I don't know if I might not go out for 4th of July. I don't know, man. Real life Uncle Sam nightmare. What does that
This
mean?
happened last year on the 4th of July. My wife's birthday was only a few days
That's the most hideous man I've ever seen in my life. She's also super chopped. What? Off to a great start. A great start.
apart from America's, so she has all the more reason to celebrate. As for myself, my favorite part is that it's one of the handful of days out of the year where it's acceptable to drink beer in a public park. All the neighborhood dads did it, and their respective families would gather around to watch the fireworks display. Luckily,
You're excited about the 4th of July so you can drink beer in public? Dude, you got a problem. I'm just letting you know. Sorry it's coming from me, but bro, you need some help. That's all I gotta say. That's what you're excited for?
my family lives within walking distance of the park. If we wanted to, we could get a decent view from our front yard, but we preferred to walk the couple of blocks it takes to get the best view possible.
Right.
Last year was no exception, but we happened to be running late. It was already starting to get dark, but none of the snacks were packed and there was no beer or ice in the cooler yet.
Oh, can't go. Don't have any beer. Jesus, dude.
I told my wife and son to go ahead of me in the hopes of getting a good spot last minute. I stayed behind to pack the cooler, make a couple of quick sandwiches, and get the lawn chairs out of the garage and ready to go. By the time I was finally on my way to the park, the last of the daylight was gone. I tried to hurry, but I was weighed down by all the stuff I was carrying. Unfortunately, I wasn't
the
quite
beer, bro.
able to make it in time. About halfway there, the first fireworks went off. They lit up the sky and sent shockwaves through my chest. I knew I was missing out on some fun, but at least my son was there in time for the full experience. When I looked back to the horizon to see where I was going, something, or rather someone, had appeared from the trees. A man dressed as Uncle Sam was pointing at me with one hand.
Oh, what the hell is he doing? What are you... Oh my God, what is happening?
And sparklers burning in his other hand. He then picked up a sack full of fireworks over his shoulder, and before I knew it, the man was running straight for me.
Oh my God. Dude, whoa, hold on. Pause for a second. Oh my God. Dude, you didn't have to scare me like that, bro. Jesus. That's horrible. Look at this picture. Oh my God, that's the most hideous man on the face of the earth. Holy Jesus. He's got toothpicks for teeth, bro. Come on.
What are you doing all the way out here? You're missing the fireworks!
I'm on my way now. I'm just a few minutes late.
You better give me a damn good reason why you're late to celebrating independence with your countrymen, or I'll give you a sparkling lobotomy.
Relax. I was just getting some sandwiches and a couple of beers. I used American cheese, I swear. No Swiss.
Treason! Sandwiches?
This can't be real.
That's the reason you're missing my once in a Lifetime show?
Oh my God.
For sandwiches? Hey, those were for my family, you asshole! Deadbeat! Do you know how much time and effort I put into the show to make it special? Just for you to abandon your family and your country for a couple of crummy sandwiches? And
Hey, low-key, I said the same thing. Hey, I'm on his side. I mean, not really, because what are you doing, you psychopath? But, I mean...
imported beer?
Stay back. Don't come near me.
I want you dead! Somebody get this psycho off of me! I just want to watch the fireworks with my family, not get poked by an old guy on top of me! Help!
What am I watching? Bro's got the whitest legs ever. Holy gee, he's like, his legs are like out here. Oh my god. Dude! Oh my god! Dude!
I was finally able to get away from that psycho and make it through to the clearing of the park,
Who
where
is
I
that
saw
guy?
the crowd of people enjoying the fireworks. But then, out of nowhere, all the fireworks stationed in the park started going off randomly in all directions. That day was the worst disaster in the history of my town, and it's ruined the 4th of July for everyone who went through it. The psycho pretending to be Uncle Sam didn't just attack me, he was also the perpetrator of the events in the park. He sabotaged the fireworks to go off in a dangerous and unpredictable way.
No
And
way.
worse, he rigged some homemade explosives to detonate in the chaos. Sadly, my wife was hit with a piece of shrapnel and didn't survive, along with a few others. Fortunately, my son survived with minor injuries. A man responsible
Minor injuries? Oh, play that back.
to others. Fortunately, my son survived with minor injuries. A man responsible was later arrested and charged accordingly. As the 4th of July
No way.
approaches, I know that my son and I will not be participating this year. And maybe
I mean, the guy got locked up. What do you mean you're not participating? It's still the 4th of July. Yeah, I mean... I don't know, I'm going.
this story was inspired by a horrific incident
This is
regarding a 37-year-old
really,
man
really
named
real.
Anthony John Mayer,
Oh
who
my
was
God,
charged
yeah.
over a Michigan 4th of July fireworks disaster that left 1 dead and 9 injured.
Dude.
Authorities said Mayer brought and lit a quote-unquote salute cannon that sent shrapnel into a crowd gathered to view a public fireworks display. Following the incident, an investigation involving detectives, the Michigan State Police Bomb Squad, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives revealed that a homemade salute cannon carrying gunpowder caused the explosion.
Wow.
Police say the device was intended to create a loud salute or boom when ignited. However, the device exploded and metal pieces of the cannon were dispersed into the crowd.
Dude, that's like a frag grenade. Oh my god. Only one person died, and of course it was Buddy's wife. Ah, dude, that sucks. 4th of July fireworks incident.
This
Man.
happened a few years ago on the 4th of July.
Simpsons.
I had recently bought a house with my girlfriend of 7 years, whom I recently asked to marry me. We already have 2 kids
Do you see this guy's teeth? Oh my god, he's got 8 teeth.
together. This year was the first 4th of July we were celebrating as an engaged couple and homeowners, so I wanted to make this an extra special summer. We
Yeah.
invited a bunch of our friends and family to our house for a backyard barbecue,
There you
and
go.
I promised everyone they would see fireworks they would never forget. I bought the biggest, baddest fireworks I could find on the internet for a great price. This
Nice.
was not the usual Roman candles, sparklers, and tiny little rockets that I usually got, if I could recall. It was a firework called something in the lines of the Armageddon. It was one of those fancy fireworks boxes that shot out a variety of fireworks and allegedly lasted a minute. On the day of the
Okay.
4th of July, I spent the afternoon manning the grill and catching up with my old friends. I let the older kids play with the smoke bombs and bottles.
Who's this kid? Who the hell is this kid, and who invited him?
rockets, but it didn't stop them from begging me to set off the big fireworks all day. Rockets,
Hold on.
but it didn't stop them from
Buddy,
begging me to set
what
off
are you
the
doing?
big fireworks all day. I laughed it off and told them to wait until it got dark. I didn't let it show, but I was also feeling very impatient to see the real show. Finally,
too.
in the evening, it was time. There was still a bit of light, but it was dark enough. I had all my fireworks set up on the
Yeah.
lawn of my backyard. I started with the smallest fireworks I bought from the internet, a pack of 6 exploding mortars in all different colors. And then finally, the best for last, the Armageddon. I then picked a spot in the backyard and started digging a hole. I then planted the box inside to keep it from going anywhere but up and hurting anybody in the crowd. My fiance then handed me a grill lighter to light the fuse. Then I ran back to the crowd where we were all waiting in anticipation. The fire crawled up the fuse and into the box. And then, nothing. Everyone was disappointed.
Oh, nah, dude. Nothing happened. He's gonna go up to it and, like, check on it, then it's gonna blow up in his damn face.
Was worried I might have gotten a bunch of defective fireworks from the website. I gave it about a minute, then I went over and grabbed it out of the ground. I was partly confused as to why it didn't go off, and partly mad that I had apparently been ripped off. I took the box over to the fireworks table to see if I could fix it somehow. I started playing around with the fuse, nudging it back and forth to see if it would do anything, but nothing happened until... That's when the damn thing went off. I felt a blinding flash of light, and at the same moment felt the rocket hit my right eye and fly across my face with a trail of fire. I collapsed, screaming. After that flash of light, everything had gone black. As this realization dawned on me, I could hear everyone screaming in panic as the fireworks began shooting in every...
Yo, it's not that funny, but oh, could you imagine? Okay, being there, it's not funny, but like hearing about it, it's a little funny. But like, bro, just like your whole family, everybody, extended family, your friends' friends, your mom's friends, everybody's there. And you just look up and there's just fireworks pop, 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 pop over here. Everyone just running around. Oh my God. Ah! Dude, holy.
Direction and at the family. A moment later, things got even worse. The rocket
Worse?
managed to light the entire table of fireworks on
No
fire,
way.
and after just a few seconds, every single one of them started going off
my
as well.
God.
It was a brutal barrage of explosion after explosion.
No
Everyone
way.
screaming and crying and trying to get away. I couldn't see a thing.
He's just
I was
tweaking
so
over
in
there.
shock that I couldn't even stand up. I just cowered with my head in my hands and screamed helplessly as I listened to my family and friends being bombed by the fireworks I brought into my own home. It seemed like an
my
eternity.
God.
I spent the entire time hoping that nobody else got hurt and that I
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
going to be blind forever. I wish that I could get up and help, but my body kept telling me there was nothing I could do because I was already dead. It was like my entire life had been struck from existence by a single rocket. I thought for a minute that I was actually dead, but eventually the fireworks died down and my wife was able to come to my aid. She brought me a wet rag to cover my eyes, but I'm sure she had misunderstood the severity of my injury. She kept asking me to open my eyes despite me screaming and wailing in pain.
Dude.
It burns like hell! I can't see anything! Somebody give me some Visine!
All I could remember was hearing my wife scream in horror and telling me that my eyes were pitch black. In that moment, I knew how badly I messed up. My wife called 911 immediately. Obviously,
Ew.
I don't think anybody but me and my family were still in the backyard when the ambulance arrived. Luckily, nobody else suffered much more than a minor
Stop.
burn or a twisted ankle while running away. I wasn't so fortunate. While
my
the rest of
God.
my body was uninjured, my eyes were severely damaged. I am now blind in both eyes. Today, all I can see is dim, shapeless, colorless blurs. My
Dude.
greatest concern is that I will never be able to see my wife ever again.
That's actually
Even
sad.
worse, I won't be able to watch my kids grow up. I'll never see
Dude.
my youngest son's first steps. If I ever had another child, I will never know what they look like. If anyone ever uses fireworks of any kind, I strongly warn them in every possible way to use eye protection and to never look directly down the barrel of a firework.
Dude. Oh my God, that's like rule number 1. If you lit the fuse and it doesn't go off, I ain't touching it. Someone else got it. I mean, dude. But you have this big ass box that's like 100 fireworks in it, and you're just looking at it, and then it blows up in your face, and you can't see. And oh my,
If I had been wearing
it could have been a lot worse. Is all I'm saying.
safety glasses that day, I wouldn't be blind. This story was inspired by a disturbing incident regarding a man who lost his sight after fireworks exploded in his face. His greatest concern now is if he will ever have the chance to see his children again. The victim's name was James Crook. He was lighting fireworks on July 4th and had just lit a firework with the grill lighter, but wasn't sure if the fuse had lit.
Alright, after watching that, I'm not going out. I'm not going to anyone else's house. I can't even stay in my own house, actually. Oh god, I'm screwed.